Hello team, today's challenge is mirror image, where we're given a string. We need to flip it around, so end for end, and see if it is a mirror image. And the key to this is we aren't just talking about the order of the letters, but the shape of those letters as well. So the W, if we were to flip the W over, the W would look exactly the same. Same with the T, same with the Y, same with all these letters. And then there are some characters that we could, in theory, flip around to create their mirror selves. So the B and the D, right? If we flip it over on its horizontal axis, right, it would look the same, or it would look like a proper mirror. And that's what we're going to do today. If we can get it to flip and look like a mirrored image, then it's true. If not, it's false, right? And that's the key. Now, for us, the only thing that we really care about is this table, right? Because all these letters are going to take care of themselves, and anything outside of these characters of this table just won't mirror, right? That's just how it works. So we only really concern ourselves with this table, which means that we can jump over here and start building stuff out, okay? This is going to be const mirror cars, just like this, and we're going to set it equal to an array that has all this stuff in here, indenting it. Now, there is a tab in here, which is how I'm going to latch onto these for multiple cursors, which is going to let me jump around, okay? If you want, you could do this one by one, but I'm gonna do it this way, okay? So these need to be in quotes, and then we jump to the end of the quote and add a comma and change that tab to a space. And then these need to be in quotes. Excellent, okay? And then we grab the whole thing and wrap it in square brackets. And then we jump to the end and add a comma, and there we go, okay? Now we have arrays with our matching characters, right? And what we really want is a way to test these characters and test these characters. So we want to be able to match back and forth. For that, I'm going to create a new thing. And that is going to be a map. So this is going to be mirror map, capital M, which hints that this should also be a map, capital M, okay? And for that, we pass in another array. The array is the keys. We could just pass mirror characters in here, but what we want is a grouping. So right here, spelling it right, mirror cars like this, right? And then from there, we also want to take this and map it to the original. So it's going to be dot map, lowercase map. We're going to pass in that array, which we can destructure to A and B, because naming things is hard and we aren't really concerned with that. Jumping to the end of the arguments here, but before the last parentheses, adding that arrow function. Come on, do it right. There it is. And returning a new array, which is B and A. So flipping them. We've created a map that has these ones as the keys and these ones here as the values. And then we flip that to make these the keys and these the values. And we've done that all here so that if somebody was to go in here and add, say, the double angle bracket or something like that, right? It would all just work for us. We get it for free. So this is how I'm doing it today. And down here, we're going to jump into some code, okay? For this, my key is to change string 1 and then compare the results to string 2. And if we can change string 1 to be a mirrored image, then in theory, it'll either match or it won't match string 2. And that's our true or false, okay? So right here, I'm going to use a standard for loop today. You could use a reduce. I did have plans to do this as a reduce, but showing something different, right? And the reason for the for loop is because I don't have to break the string apart into an array, right? I can just use it directly. So for that, we need a variable. We're going to call this, what did I call it? String 1 mirrored, okay? And it is a let, which we start as an empty string. So again, that for is going to be let car of string 1, just like this. And you'll notice that, again, we didn't have to split that into an array or anything. So the for loop is helping us with that, helping us iterate through each character. And we get that for free, right? Now inside of here, I do want to get the mirrored character if it's available. So I'm going to set up a variable here. Could it be const? Yeah, I set it as a let. I just realized that. But moving on, okay? So we check mirror map. We check to see if it has the character. If it does, then we go mirror map dot get character, okay? So grabbing that out. Otherwise, if it doesn't exist, then we use what? Well, we use the character, okay? Just like this. A shortcut to this that I just realized is that I could take all this, copy it, and just kind of do something like get it, right? And if it doesn't exist, then pass in the character. I'm pretty sure that's going to work. We're going to find out live on camera because I just thought about that now, okay? So we could actually just skip this whole ternary and go straight to assignment, okay? With that, we need to actually do the final assignment, and that is this string mirrored, okay? So I'm going to copy that, bring it down, and set it equal to the character on the front. So that's going to be our mirrored plus whatever our string one mirrored is, okay? And then from down here, we test it. So string one mirrored equals string two. And moment of truth, it absolutely works, okay? So we did not need this part. I could actually delete it to make it a little bit more lean, right? Spaces if you want. I like the space there. I'm going to leave it. But this is where we end, okay? So we started out by sorting out our data. And for most of these challenges, once you get the data sorted, I've said this before too, once you get the data sorted, everything kind of comes along easier, okay? So wrapping our head around the data, making sure that our data is as solid as it can be, okay? So we created a map based off of this data. And again, they could update this to other things. And we get all that transferred through for free, okay? And then down here, setting it up. Could we have used a reduce in here? Absolutely. I used a for loop today, right? Lots of different ways to do this. Again, not every solution, just hopefully one good solution. That's what we're going for. But once we mirrored string one, we tested that mirrored version against string two, and it returned true or false. That's the whole thing, okay? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you find another way that you want to share? Let me know all that stuff in the comments. Otherwise, for today, this has been Mirror Image, and I will see you tomorrow.